obviously we want to talk about the album. Neon Future 4. The first one was released in 2014. What is it like to release an album during quarantine?
Actually, it's a perfect time too.
Okay. Why?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like 2 weeks ago, I was like, "Oh, this sucks. I can't support my album on the road because I've been touring. I did this whole bus tour. Like, that's the other thing too, is that like with an album comes a lot of moving parts, a lot of different things that are happening to like promote the excitement and like get the songs out there. And one of which is touring, and that's what I do. I'm known to be one of the most heavily touring artists. Period.
Yes.
I do like 250 shows a year minimum. And then we're on the bus tour. We're doing a show every single day. So through March and April, we have a show every day. So it's all around this album. So that was like the perfect way to promote this album. But like now it's like we're stuck here. So why it's become like perfect is because we turned it into like this a fun interaction through live. So I'm doing the Instagram lives, like working out. I'm forcing myself to work out every single day. It's actually been really, really great. So I've done a 15-day boot camp challenge where I work out and I drop a brand new song from the album, and it gets the conversation going around all this new music that no one's heard. These artists that people had no idea I was working with, like Zooey Deschanel. Like, it's crazy. I called up Zoe. I was like, hey, can you do a fun little video for me talking about the album, and I'll do one for you? And she's like, yeah. So we posted that up, and I was like, oh, wow, like a lot of feedback. And I was like, I wonder what people are going to think when they hear this song. So I played the song live on my IG Live in my studio or in my gym. And I was like, it's like, I think it'll get like reaction, but not like the kind of reaction it got. It's like it's like close to like 1 million views. That's like crazy for me because I usually get like 100,000 to 300,000 views, 400,000 views on a IG Live, like, when I post on the IG thread. And it's like, it's my highest one. It's just me playing the song. It's like, I didn't know, and there's over 1,000 comments. It's just a lot for me. It's amazing when you put an unexpected collaboration together and you drop it on people unbeknownst to their knowledge, and and then it's good. Right. And then it's really good.
How does this new LP expand the Neon Future narrative?
It's a continuation of my fascination, passion, obsession with where I think we're going in the future. So, I mean, the concept of Neon Future, the idea behind what Neon Future means to me is a future where technology and our humanity will merge into what Yuval Harari, who's actually on the album, he wrote a book called Sapiens, and then my favorite book of all time. It's a brief history of humankind. It's an outstanding book about our species and how we've gone to where we are today and why we are here, kind of thing, like his theory behind it. And his second book is called Homo Deus, which means Homo Deus means human God, which is essentially where we're going. We're using technology to become to eventually like live indefinitely, to use our technology to expand our creativity, to do things that we couldn't do just with our human body. Like essentially right now, like when you think of the word cyborg, you think like that's scary, like half like Terminator, like half metallic, robotic, and half AI, half human. And like, I don't want to be any more part of that. A lot of people would probably say that, but 2020, even 2015, we're already cyborgs. We use technology to get our car from one place to the next. We use technology to order food. We use technology right now so we can communicate. We're using technology so that we can connect with other people. So that's my version. My version of a future is using our technology to the utmost potential to do things that are sci-fi based.
Sure.
To, you know, and it's exciting um, to know where that's going. And I'm like all for it. I'm a techno future optimist, if you want to like define it. So that's why I have scientists on the albums. My Neon Future one, I had Ray Kurzweil, who coined the term singularity, talks about, you know, in 2045, and I have a song called 2045 on this album. 2045, we will reach this point of where technology is going at this curvature, where it's going exponentially, where we're going to hit this point in our lifetime, 2045, where we won't even know what will happen next because we can't even imagine it, because technology, the way we'll use technology will be so expansive that it, you know, who knows what will be, who knows what will, if it's good or bad, you know. I think it's going to be good. I'm trying to be hopeful here. So I have Ray Kurzweil on one. I have J.J. Abrams on two, who's, you know, he's like the ambassador of science fiction of our generation, right? The voice of science fiction of our generation, and a good friend. Aubrey de Grey, who wrote a book called Ending Aging, where he's basically talking about how to reverse cellular degeneration to the point where we can hopefully live forever. That's his goal. His whole organization sends is to find ways to reverse cells from dying.
Sure.
Or, you know, so I talked with him, I interviewed him. And then on three, I had Bill Nye, everyone loves Bill Nye. Everyone knows about Bill Nye. I don't need to talk about him. I Kip Thorne, who is an astrophysicist. He's like right alongside Stephen Hawking, worked alongside Stephen Hawking and he was executive producer of one of my favorite films, Interstellar. And Neon Future 4, I have Yuval Harari, who wrote my favorite book. Also, his version of the Neon Future isn't so neon. He thinks that it's going to be something else, but I still want to include his voice in there, even though it's a different kind of trajectory. And then I have Brian Johnson, he's like one of the leaders in brain technology. And he has a we align on the same principles and ideas of where we're going with technology and all that good stuff. So that's a long one, but that's basically like what Neon Future means to me. And it's an overarching theme running through my life, you know, like the different things that I love about living and like, you know, being excited for the future. And then I just, you know, like the different chapters of the album are different time periods and timestamps of the collaborations I've worked with, you know, the global world that now we're in, that you know.
Right. The list of collaborators on this album is unlike anything I've ever seen before. I mean, you have the Backstreet Boys, you have Zooey Deschanel, you have just sort of, you have this list that like is kind of non sequitur, but it all makes sense for you. And I'm wondering how you tailor that list of collaborators and how you then get all of these people involved.
Okay, so music has no borders. I think that's like a general rule of thumb that I live by. And I think that if you say it to someone, they're like, they can agree. But then like, you know, like I remember when I was collaborating with rap artists 10 years ago, and people were giving me shit about that. I was like, EDM and rap, that doesn't work. I mean, obviously it's like understood now, but like 10 years ago, people like, I was getting like heavy flack on that. And it was crazy. It's like, it's American. Electronic music is global, but like, you know, I'm American. So of course I'm going to work with artists that are like in my city. And it shouldn't be so judged. So now to this point, I'm just like, I definitely don't listen to anyone from the internet. I mean, it's clear. Like if I did, I wouldn't be so flexible, you know, but
you mean feedback on the internet?
Yeah. I mean, I just can't like, I can't get any opinions. Like for example, if I do a song with someone that would definitely get some sort of negative reaction, I would never say anything. I would just drop it. And I'll let the music tell the story. If the music can convince people otherwise. That's the whole point. This album is global. It's like from Alok from Brazil to Alan Walker in Norway to Monsta X in Seoul, Korea, Lei Zhang in China, you know, Tory Lanez, who's from Canada, Agnes Mo from Indonesia, you know, and then, you know, obviously Zooey Deschanel was like in a different world, you know, incredible vocalist, but like, you know, like I wanted to like surprise people because it's like people that know Zooey know that she's an amazing vocalist. They follow her band. They know that, but like my fans would never expect that. I love surprising my fans that way too, you know, and it's a beautiful song.
Yeah. Well, you even got Sting. It's like how do you approach a legacy artist like Sting and, you know, present him with a project and get someone sort of that has that place in music history involved? Okay.
So the Sting is, I let the song do the talking because I don't know him personally. And that's like 10%. It's like a 10% process. Like for me, when I think about like collaborating with artists, there's 90% of the time it's because of friendships, because like we have time to like carve out time together. But the 10% is like, okay, this song is so good. The melody is so strong. The lyrics are so like, they sink into your skin. They like sink into your soul, like that kind of feeling. And I know he's going to get it. I believe in this song so much that I'm going to go to the top of the list. And I always think like outside the curve. So the top of the list sometimes isn't always like the obvious choices, like the Billboard top 10 artists. It's like, I want to work with an artist that no one would expect, one. And two, an artist that hasn't put out a record that people haven't heard recently. You know, like, so I'm thinking about like, who hasn't put out a record that's like really changed the game, but everybody knows. And so I would go through that list, and Sting is definitely one of those legacy music leaders that I'm dying to work with, you know, and there's plenty more. I mean, that list is pretty thick, so I don't want to give it away because I want to do more with that list. Right. So I sent the song to Sting, and I was just like, I know the song is going to speak to him. Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course I work with pop artists all the time. I've worked with plenty of pop artists, but they have they're in a different world as far as what culture dictates. Like I don't want to be in that world, to be honest with you. Like I'm like in the limelight like that. Like I love working with pop artists, but I don't necessarily want to be on the cover of Us Weekly or, you know, or OK Magazine. I just like, that's not my goal. My goal is let the music speak for itself. But I also want to surprise everyone. I want to work with human beings that inspire me, you know? So, and, you know, pop artists, the great thing about working with pop artists is that we already can sync really well in the studio as far as melody, you know, like with pop, it's like, for me, melody is a key component when I work with a singer or an artist or someone in a genre. And like with pop artists, they're already like, the first thing they're in their head is melody, you know? So like, that's what they think about first. So like when I'm in the studio with Lauren Haregi or Louis Tomlinson or, you know, BTS or whoever, it's like, you know, synonymous in pop music. Like we're first, you know, gelling on melody, you know, and then that the melody will then dictate where the song's going to go.
Got it. Okay. With the sort of dawn of the new decade, you know, you're one of the most successful dance acts of, you know, the last 10 years of sort of the dance music era. Is there a way that you are sort of shifting yourself, your brand, what you do to sort of enter the next 10 years? Like, do you feel a shift with that new era?
As a DJ, I have to follow culture. I'm not talking about a producer. As a DJ, you know, you want to play the songs that are current, that people understand, that you get like the inside joke on, and you play that in your music, in your sets, you know, and that's the way that people are like, oh, I like this DJ's, like he or she gets it with what like, you know, I'm like not going over their heads kind of thing. So like, I need to know what's happening. And I also need to know, and as a producer, I need to predict at least to a level of where culture is going. So I can't think like what the 10-year track is for 2020, but I can guess. And I feel like because of my success, I'm above average at guessing. So I'm not saying that like I'm like the best, but I'm saying that I'm above the average person because I've been able to hit the mark, you know, a few times working with certain artists that like were able to blow up. And I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, running a label. You know, I've run my label Dim Mak for 25 years or almost 25 years now, since 96. So not 20, what, 23 years, whatever. Whatever, I don't even know. I'm bad with math, whatever. But anyways, over 20 years. And we've hit the mark on some artists that really blew up in different genres. So, and that's just believing in like your gut, right? So it's like a lot of times the same way that I was A&Ring artists on Dim Mak, and I still am, I am A&Ring my collaborations in that same fashion, you know, like, and you know, when you hit the mark, it feels, I mean, that's life, man. That's what like makes me, my drive kick into overdrive, you know?
Sure. Give me just a handful of those watershed hitting the mark moments.
Okay. Like, 2004, we signed a band called Block Party,
Right.
Before Silent Alarm. And then we did a deal with Vice Atlantic and we put out the Silent Alarm album. And that was a huge 350,000 albums on an indie, like, you know, / major label. That was huge for us. That was a big one. The Chainsmokers, you know, fast forward to 2011, 2012, we put out their first single, put out a couple of records with them, put out Zed's, like, not his first single, but we put out a couple of his first records. I mean, doing that mic drop remix for BTS and working with them early on. I mean, they already had some albums in there, but their big break was that mic drop remix in America, and then continued to work together, which I was so grateful for because they're already so big when we did Wasted on Me, and then I produced that The Truth Untold for their album. I managed MIA. There's one artist I managed in my whole career. I kind of gave away the punchline, but like, there's one artist I've ever managed in my whole career. It was MIA. And it was 2004. I tried to sign her after watching, what video was that? I guess it was Galang. And I called her up and I was like, yo, you're the next thing. You're the next Madonna. Like, I really think you're going to just take over. And, she believed in my passion and my fight for her. And she's like, I don't have an American manager. You could be my American manager. I only lasted for like 3 months. I'm not a manager. So it was more like my heart and my soul. She believed in that. Sure. So then I fought for her to get her a label deal, a big label deal.
I didn't know
in 2004. That. Yeah. I mean, it's not really, it's in my book. I wrote a book. But.
Yeah, I did know that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad you brought the book up because, you know, in the process of all of these big moments, you've also sort of built this multifaceted empire. You know, you've got fashion, you've got books, you've got the label, you've got the philanthropy. Like, what are sort of the abiding principles or the guiding principles of the Aoki Empire? How have you done this? What rules have you followed?
What rules have I followed? This is a long question.
If you can distill it a little bit.
Okay, well, I'd say what's the takeaway on all of this? It's okay. I mean, some of the stuff sounds generic, like but it's really true. You have to really believe in what you're saying and doing. And I think the most important thing is that if you really believe it, if you really are passionate behind it, and it's not like, how much money can I make from this thing or whatever it is. It's like, if you look at it more as a passion project and you put everything you got into it, then like for example, Dim Mak was not financially successful for like a very, very long time, like 15 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, I was putting out records and not making money. Like I was, even during that whole period of time in the early 2000s when we were actually crushing. We were like putting out records that were doing well. We were selling records, but I didn't know how to run a business. That's the other problem. I just didn't know how to balance things. I was just like, you know, like, oh my God, we're selling so many. Let's just put all this money into radio or put all this money into this or that. And then my accountant's like, you're under a lot of money. Like, and I'm like, how? Like, we're selling so many records. Like, but I just didn't understand the business behind it. And that's when, like, you have to know. I guess the other question is, like, the other thing is you follow your passion, you give everything you got into it, and then you know what you're good at and you know what you're bad at.
What are you bad at?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm a bad businessman, but I'm just bad at accounting.
Sure.
You know, so you have to bring in a whole, like, I brought an accounting team. I brought like people in that can help me manage that side of things. I have really good teams now to help me manage all these different businesses. But I really do follow my gut. I do follow my passion still on every project. And if I don't really believe in it 100%, I just don't. We only have 24 hours in the day. Everyone has the same 24 hours in the day. We're like, my time is limited, you know? So even now in the coronavirus, you know, like in the quarantine, our time is still limited.
Okay. And now that the album is coming out, what is your goal for it? Like, how will you define, or how will you know it's successful?
How will I know it's successful?
What is success for it?
What is success?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is success? Okay. Like, subjectively in my heart, it's already a success.
Great.
You know, like you know, because I hate basing on numbers, on what, just like, oh no, this post got this got like half the likes than the other post. That's not a successful post. You know, like, you like judge it based on other people's reaction. It's never like the right way to do things in life. So, like, first for me personally, for my heart to heart, I have to tell myself it has nothing to do with what people think. I'm confident. I'm happy. I'm proud. This is the biggest undertaking of my entire musical career, doing this album. 27 songs.
It's stacked. It's big.
27 songs. It's a big undertaking. So, and I'm having fun. It's not stressful. I'm having fun through the whole process. So it's like, for me, it's like, I just know that, like, I am happy with it. I'm successful with it. But yes, I would love to see the streams go up. I would love to see a couple of these songs hit over 100 million streams.
Sure.
You know, absolutely.
Fair
Let's
enough.
go. Let's get Billboard Top 100. Let's go. Let's do this.
Well, you're putting enough out. I mean, 27 songs. It's like you're putting a lot out into the world to like, you know, the chances are good. It seems.
Yeah,
like.
the chances are good, and I have artists from all around the world. Like, so Indonesia, right now in Indonesia, the album's out, and Girl, my song with Agnes Mo and Designer, is already #1 on general music on iTunes.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's all the Agnes Mo fans, like, supporting her and downloading that song, or, you know, streaming that song on Apple Music. So, like, that's already, like, sweet, you know. So it's a good start.
Thank you for your time. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, Neon Future out.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.